Imagine a world where your personal information, financial data, and even the power in your home could be taken over by cybercriminals in an instant. Marriott Hotel Data Breach. In 2018, the Marriott Hotel Group made headlines when it revealed a massive data breach that exposed the personal information of approximately 500 million guests. This breach had been lurking undetected in the company's system for years. The compromised data included names, addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, passport numbers, and payment card data. And just when you thought it was safe to book your next vacation, Marriott suffered another breach in 2020 affecting 5.2 million guests. This time the breach involved unauthorized access using the login credentials of 2 employees at a franchise property. It's like someone found the keys to the hotel safe and decided to help themselves to your most personal information. But wait, there's more. In 2022, Marriott confirmed yet another data breach. Hackers stole around 20 gigabytes of data, including customer payment information and business documents. Think of it as the cyber's criminals' equivalent of an all-you-can-eat buffet, and they brought their biggest plates. WannaCry ransomware. In 2017, the world got a wake-up call from the cyber underworld in the form of the WannaCry ransomware attack. It all started like a bad day at the office, but instead of spilled coffee, users found their data encrypted and held hostage by criminals demanding Bitcoin. This cyber fiasco wasn't a small-time operation. It was global, targeting computers running Microsoft Windows. Imagine the chaos. Hospitals in the UK had to turn away patients, train stations in Germany couldn't sell tickets, and in China college students were locked out of their final projects. Over 200,000 computers across 150 countries were hit. It was like a worldwide cyber version of The Walking Dead, but instead of zombies, it was locked screens and frustrated users. The ransom note popping up on screens worldwide wasn't just a polite request, it was more like a digital stick-up. Pay up in Bitcoin or say goodbye to your files forever. It's like a digital equivalent of a heist movie, but instead of a suave burglars in tuxedos, it was faceless hackers causing mayhem from their keyboards. And just when we thought the nightmare was over, WannaCry decided to pull a sequel stunt in 2018. Yes, like a bad horror movie franchise that just won't die. A new version of WannaCry emerged, reminding everyone that the threat was far from over. And to make it all the more surreal, the attack had a strange vulnerability. Security experts discovered it had a kill switch. Yes, a simple domain name registration could stop the malware dead in its tracks. Picture this, an accidental hero, a 22-year-old security researcher from the UK, Marcus Hutchins, who stumbled upon this kill switch and saved the day. Cue dramatic superhero music. Continuing, the damages from WannaCry were astronomical, estimated in the hundreds of millions to potentially billions of dollars, but the true cost was the chaos and panic it caused, showing just how vulnerable our digital world can be. So next time you're saving your work, maybe consider an extra backup, just in case a digital boogeyman strikes again. Ukraine power grid attack. In 2015, the Ukraine power grid attack plunged 230,000 customers into darkness for up to 65 hours. This wasn't just a random outage, it was a coordinated assault by the Advanced Persistent Threat Group known as Sandworm. The cyber onslaught marked the first publicly acknowledged attack on a power grid, sending shockwaves through the cybersecurity world. As if this wasn't enough, other energy distribution companies in Ukraine also faced cyber issues at the same time. Adding to the chaos, it was like a sinister game of dominoes, with each piece falling into a darker and more uncertain future. The lights went out, and with them a sense of security vanished, highlighting the frightening reality of our vulnerability to cyber threats. So next time you flip a light switch, spare a thought for the power grid and the invisible batteries fought to keep the lights on in our digital age. The 2014 Yahoo Attack. In 2014, Yahoo experienced one of the largest data breaches in history, compromising about 500 million accounts. This wasn't just a small-time hack, it was orchestrated by a state-sponsored actor. Hackers made off with names, email addresses, telephone numbers, passwords, and birth dates. What makes this breach even more shocking is that Yahoo only discovered it later during an investigation sparked by reports of another breach. It was like finding out your house was robbed months after it happened while you were investigating a second break-in. The stolen information was a treasure trove for cybercriminals, and the delayed discovery only added to the frustration and fear of the affected users. The massive data breach highlighted the vulnerabilities in even the largest tech companies and served as a wake-up call for the importance of robust cybersecurity measures. So next time you log into your email, remember to use strong, unique passwords and maybe check if your data has been compromised. Adobe cyber attack. In 2013, Adobe confirmed a cyber attack that compromised around 38 million user accounts. Initially, they thought only 2.9 million accounts were affected. Talk about underestimating the problem. Hackers didn't just stop at user data, they also stole portions of the source code for Adobe's flagship software, Photoshop. Adobe's initial statement barely scratched the surface of the actual damage. It was like discovering your house had been robbed but only noticed the missing TV and not realizing the thieves took your car and the safe too. The massive oversight led to a fine of over $1 million and significant reputational damage. The PlayStation Network attack. Sony, a giant in the digital world, faced a massive cyber threat in 2011 with the infamous PlayStation Network hack. This external intrusion compromised personal details of approximately 77 million accounts, leaving gamers worldwide unable to access the network. In May 2011, Sony revealed the full extent of the breach, admitting that personally identifiable information from all affected accounts had been exposed. To add insult to injury, the outage lasted 23 days, making it the longest PlayStation hack in history. Imagine millions of gamers twiddling their thumbs, forced to interact with the real world. Truly a catastrophe. The cyber attack was one of the largest at the time, and it cost Sony around $178 million and sparked multiple lawsuits. Estonia cyber attack. In 2007, Estonia found itself in the crosshairs of the first cyber attack on the entire country. Around 58 Estonian websites, including those of government officials, media outlets, and banks, were taken offline. A culprit, a massive DDoS attack that flooded Estonian servers using zombie computers to amplify the chaos. This attack wasn't just a random act of digital vandalism, it was politically motivated. It followed a heated argument over the relocation of a controversial monument. Think of it as a digital temper tantrum, but instead of broken dishes, it was disrupted services and offline websites. The NASA cyber attack. In 1999, NASA faced a major cyber attack that had led to a 21-day shutdown of its critical computers. During the breach, around 1.7 million pieces of software were downloaded, causing $41,000 in repair costs. But the real kicker, the culprit was a 15-year-old hacker. The teenage cyberwiz didn't just cause financial damage, he managed to embarrass one of the most prestigious space agencies in the world. The young hacker, after pleading guilty, was sentenced to 6 months in jail. Adding a touch of humility to his punishment, he was also required to write apology letters to the NASA administrators and the Secretary of Defense. Imagine a teenager penning a heartfelt, "Sorry for hacking your systems." Note, priceless. This incident was less about the money and more about the audacity of a teenager breaching NASA's defenses, reminding everyone that even the most secure systems can be vulnerable to youthful ingenuity. Reminder to subscribe. Subscribe or this cat will blow up the world. MOVEit. In May 2023, Progress Software revealed a 0-day vulnerability in its MOVEit transfer software that lets attackers breach MOVEit servers and steal customer data. Among the opportunists was the infamous CLOP ransomware gang, which went on a rampage targeting a slew of organizations. Their victims included government agencies, healthcare providers, and major businesses like British Airways, Boots, and the BBC. By September, the attack had affected over 2,000 organizations and exposed the data of 60 million people and counting. The breach is now infamous not just for the sheer number of people affected, but also for its financial toll and long-lasting repercussions. The Melissa virus attack in 1999, the Melissa virus highlighted importance of the digital security in our tech-driven world. Programmer David Lee Smith hacked into an AOL account and published a file on the internet promising access to dozens of free passwords to fee-based adult websites. When users downloaded this document, it unleashed a virus on their computers. The virus caused significant damage to numerous users and companies, including Microsoft, while cybersecurity teams managed to contain the virus quickly. Fully removing the infections took much longer. The collective damage was estimated around 80 million, making Melissa one of the most notable cyber attacks of all time. Thanks for sticking around till the end. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world's most infamous cyber attacks, don't forget to subscribe for more. Your support keeps us going. Bye now.